Okay guys, so we're here at Davis Rubber Company in Little Rock. I've filmed from here before, getting some tire chips, going up to the Nucor plant in Amarillo, Arkansas, which is basically Blyville. I'm gonna have to climb up there. We got chips. This is more like shred. But the order says tire chips. But you can see I got stuff up on the front edge, so I'm gonna have to climb up there and kind of clean some of that off and probably stomp on it to get it down below the bows in some places so I can get my tarp over. I'm giving you a shot. I was talking to Mr. Davis back there when I was waiting to get into the loading area. He said this company, it hasn't always been here. It's been here for 12 or 15 years, but it's been in the family for, I don't know, 90 something years, I think he said. He's got lots of family members that work here, you know, family run business. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, you can see they take in tires and run them through the shredder, pile them up. And they even, they take the wire. You see that pile over there? They take the wire out of the tires. I've picked up that once before and delivered it to somewhere down in Texas. I forget the name of it. But usually I just get the tire chip. Like I said, this is more like tire shred. You know, it's bigger pieces. Like this. The tire chips are usually smaller, like that pile back there. I'd say that's tire chips. This is more like you know, just bigger pieces that haven't been chopped down as much. But that's how it's going. Usually it's wet when I come in here, and this is all piled up with little puddles. In fact, the first time I came here, I got stuck up here because I couldn't get my rear differential to lock in. Anyway, you back into here, and the entry is over in there. We're right beside the Little Rock Airport area. It's right over there. Just to give you a reference, it's only about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 miles from the Oakley, North Little Rock yard. But that's it. Okay folks, I just scaled in here at the Nucor facility in Amarillo or Blyville, Arkansas, whichever you prefer. It's a big place. I used to pick up steel beams quite often over here to the right when I was flatbedding for Maverick. In fact, I see a Maverick truck coming around there. Anyway, the guy inside checked my paperwork and then told me to pull over here in this gravel spot, kind of behind this other truck. And somebody would be coming up to get me. So I'm just going to pull over here and get out and move my mud flaps and go ahead and roll my tarp over, kind of get prepared. There's a Maverick fella right there. Got some steel beams. Got 2 chains on. He's got to go finish securing. All right, more in a bit. Okay folks, so this fella up ahead there in the pickup truck just came to get me, told me to follow him. I've never delivered tire chips to this place. In fact, I don't think I've delivered anything to this facility. I've only picked up as a flatbedder. Woo, it's hot. Oh, let's turn that off. This battery is getting low, so if it abruptly ends, that's why. I need to swap out batteries. I do remember once picking up some steel beams over here to the right, but usually it was out there in the yard, what they call I think they call it the ball field or something, where some kind of baseball reference. You know, it's an outside loading area, huge place. But I have picked up over here in the building once. So this is a new experience for me, going back into this area. I've already got my mud flaps moved around and my tarp rolled back. Should be a pretty quick dump. And then we'll scale out and call in and see what's next. I talked to my dispatcher a couple of hours ago and gave him an ETA, which I was about 15 minutes ahead of my ETA. And he didn't have anything for sure set up yet, so I don't know. You know, it's 1 p.m. on Friday afternoon, so there's not many places I'll be able to get to before they stop shipping, I'm afraid. So I don't know. And the speed limit's 15 around here. But I think this dude that I'm supposed to follow is speeding. Okay, I'm seeing some raw materials back here. You probably can't see it all, but there's piles of scrap metal over here to the right. Various types. I don't see any tire chips yet. But yeah, this facility, as far as I know, produces primarily steel beams. Okay, let's see where we're going now, Mr. Leader Man. Still don't see any. Oh, there's this pile to the right looks like it might be shredded tire pieces. All right. All right, so let me get in here. I'm gonna have to change batteries before I show you anything else. Let me get out and see what he wants me to do. Okay guys, let's take a look at it and see how it dumped. There's the product right there. Oh yeah, it came out real clean. I'm just gonna go through there with my blower real quick, and that'll be good to go. Dusty out here, dusty and hot. So that's it from Davis Rubber Company in Little Rock to Nucor in Blytheville. Okay folks, so I'm empty. Went through the trailer with my lightweight portable blower. And let's go scale out. Just thought I'd give you a shot of this. Not a place I've had footage from before. are either very dusty or very muddy. Either way, your truck gets dirty. Alright, let's see. I think I need to take a right here. Came in on, so I need to take a left to get out of here. Just giving you a look. That was a pretty quick unload. You know, that's about as good as it gets right there. I mean, I pulled right in off the road, got on the scale. Guy had me pull over and wait for about 5 minutes, and then the fella came and led me back here, which might have taken 3 or 4 minutes. Didn't have to wait on any other trucks. I mean, it's 1:22. I think right when I was pulling back here, it was right at 1 o'clock, so not bad at all. Yeah, I think I gotta go this way, back out towards the scale. Pretty sure, pretty sure. Woo! Truck thermometer says 99 degrees. I'm already, I've got my mud flaps hung back up, got my tarp on, got my blower put away. I'm good to go. I just got to scale out. I think he's already signed my paperwork, so I'll have to send in an empty call through the system and then call dispatcher. See what he's got figured out, if anything. So for those of you interested, thinking about doing this, I'm showing you some of the, I'm doing this footage to give you a good idea of the kind of places you go, what it's like. You know, the worst thing about this particular load is, you know, after I got loaded this morning, I had to spend about 10 minutes. You know, I had to climb up into the trailer and knock some of the tire chips down below the bows, because, you know, when he loaded it, it's just piled up. I had to get up there and kind of kick it around and make it settle a little bit, because I don't want my tarp, you know, pinned against those tire chips, because it's got wire in it. And then climb back down. That's not a terribly difficult thing, but for some people it might be. It's not that bad though. Still a lot easier than flatbedding. You know, doing flatbedding, I was having to get up and, you know, spread tarps out over loads, and climb up and down on the trailer and pulling on chains and tightening chains, throwing straps over lumber loads, drywall loads. A lot of tarp work, which was okay. I always said, you know, I looked at that like it was just opportunity to get some exercise. but this is definitely not as physically difficult as the flatbedding was. And I guess the pneumatic division and the hopper bottom division would be even easier, I would think. I don't know, some of you guys that do those divisions, feel free to make a comment. Woo, all right, so maybe you can see the scale now up there by the big American flag. I believe this time I'm supposed to go out on the right side. I did stop and fuel up on the way here. I tell you, man, fuel's gone up the last couple of weeks. Today was the most I've paid for fuel in quite a while. All right, well, I'm gonna say I probably weigh about 31.5, just a guess. And the scale says 31.540, 520. Hey, pretty good guess. More later. Okay, guys. Hey, quick wrap up for this week. I had a couple of monetary issues I wanted to talk about briefly that I had mentioned either last week or earlier this week. A couple of you guys had asked me about it. One being, a week or so ago, I did a video where I did some loads from the North Little Rock Oakley yard over to the 3M plant in Little Rock, just a few miles away, and then back to a barge there at the Oakley North Little Rock yard. Just did that all day. So I got some numbers here to explain how that worked, because it's just a short trip, you know. It's like 6 or 7 miles to the 3M plant and back. So not much mileage, so there's no money just based on the miles. Although they pay us for the miles, it's not much. So I did some math on that, and I did 9 of those trips, right? Went to the 3M plant, got a load of Donafil, drove back to the North Little Rock Oakley yard, dumped it in a barge, over and over. 9 times I did that day. So my pay on that was $652.23, which breaks down, if you divide that by 9 trips, $72.47 per load. So just to share that with you, because like I said, I did have a couple of you guys make comments about that. So that's how that works. You get mileage pay, but you also get a percentage of the load pay. And then also I mentioned earlier this week, I had my trailer in the shop there in North Little Rock for about all afternoon, a little over 4 hours. They ended up, not only did they replace an airbag on the trailer axle, but they also had to completely replace the hydraulic telescopic lift there on the trailer. So it was a pretty big job. So I was down from about noon to a little after 4 p.m. You know, lost a big portion of the day there. And my question was, because I didn't know, you know, does Oakley pay us any kind of a layover pay, downtime pay, something like that? And the answer is no. I checked on it, and the answer is no. Now, yeah, I didn't know. I know, of course, if the truck breaks down and I'm down getting it repaired, I understand. You know, the truck is mine. That's my responsibility. I don't get any kind of breakdown, but I wasn't sure about the trailer. So there's your answer. Like with Maverick, when I was with Maverick as an employee driver, there was breakdown pay. Anyway, you know, different companies handle that differently, obviously, but there's your answer on that. With Oakley, there is no downtime pay due to equipment failure. Although I will say, I do know of other drivers having instances. For example, I know a driver that his truck was down for several days due to failure of the hydraulic, you know, like a severe leak in the hydraulic system on the wet kit. And you know, he had to have his truck in the shop getting some, you know, some major work done. And they did pay that driver for being out there, because he missed like a whole week of work due to equipment failure that was not of his own making. You know, it was because of the hydraulic system on the trailer. You know, Oakley will step in if they deem you know, it worthy. You know, there is some decision making there. They will help a driver out if they feel like, you know, it was their fault. But in this particular case, just for a quick repair on the trailer, there was no downtime pay. All right. Also, I wanted to mention special thanks to Ed down in around the Phoenix area. He's been out of zone now for a few weeks. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. My dog was about to come out and I was afraid he was going to knock over my camera. Anyway, I wanted to send a quick thank you to a couple of guys. Ed, as I was saying, down in Arizona. He's been out on his own now for probably a month and a half or so, 2 months maybe, and he's doing end dump. I just wanted to thank him for using me as his referral when he applied to Oakley, and Zachary, who just got approved a couple of weeks ago, and he's getting a new truck through. He's leasing a new truck, Kenworth, I believe, and he's set to start in late August with Oakley, and he's down in Mississippi. He was going to start out in the hopper division, but I think he's about decided now he's going to go with end dump, because I've kind of put him in touch with Robert, yeah, who I've mentioned many times, who had trained me at Maverick and here at Oakley. And despite that, I'm doing okay. But anyway, Robert kind of put Zachary in touch with the leasing people, because that's where Robert also leased his truck from. In fact, he's going to be selling his truck in a couple of months and leasing a brand new one. So he'll be in a fancy new ride come like October-ish. But anyway, I wanted to send a special thank you to Zachary also for using me as his referral when he applied there with Oakley. I really appreciate it, guys. That kind of helps me with the cost of putting all these videos together. So thank you very much. And for any of you guys out there that are considering Oakley, send me an email. We can talk. You know, when you get ready, if you want to, I'll put you in touch with a recruiter, and y'all can take it from there. So, all right. Well, that's it. I'm gonna wrap this week's videos up, and Monday morning I'll be picking up a load of roofing granules out here in Little Rock at the 3M plant, which I go to quite often, and delivering it down to Atlas Roofing in Meridian, Mississippi. So that's how we'll be starting the week out. See you then.